Hello again and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, the CL is back up and running, and as many of you said, the tyre's been repaired, so that saved me a few quid. That's the beauty of having alloys rather than spokes, isn't it? Right then, off we go. Got a big subject to tackle today, so I'll see you down the road. Yes, thanks for joining me again. And today, as the thumbnail of this video no doubt says, I'm going to mention how important bike cafs are. Now you may think to yourself, well, how could a bike caf be important? But reason is, I've been watching a few videos lately and it reminded me of a subject I used to study, actually. So I had to think about it. I thought, yeah, bike cafs, they are pretty critical in actual fact. Now I'll take you back in time, just a little bit of my history. Back in when I was 17 years old, well 16, turning 17, I had a decision to make, and that was whether to go into sixth form or not, or go and get yourself a job. And as I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do, I ended up going to the sixth form, and that involved choosing some subjects other than the ones you were sort of primarily going there to study. And one of the ones I chose was sociology. Now the main reason I chose that was it looked easy, for number one. There's no maths in it, well, at least not very much. I wasn't a great mathematician, and I thought it was cushy, to be honest with you. It probably turned out to be a cushy number. I also liked the teacher that was taking it. So that's how I got into studying sociology, and what happened was I ended up really loving the subject, probably more than any other subject I studied at school, funnily enough, just through chance. But I was reminded of sociology, and recently I was watching some YouTube videos about a concept called the third place. Now, I don't know if you've heard this before. It's quite well known. We're very well known in the world of sociology, anyway. And that is the concept that there are three places that we inhabit, at least ideally, in our lives. The first is home. The second is work, and the third that most of us have, and that is a third place. So I was just going to give you a quick rundown of what that meant and why it's so important to us. Now, the idea of the third place began with a guy called Ray Oldenburg, who wrote a book called The Great Good Place. I'll put a picture on the screen if I can find one. And it was a book that came out some years after I studied sociology, but I read because of my interest in the subject. And I was reminded of it with these videos that I was watching. And I thought how obvious it was. Oh, we've got gravel here. How obvious it was that it related very much to bike cafs. Now, the principle of the third place goes right back in history, really. And the Romans and the Greeks were clever enough to build third places into the structure of their society. Yes, the Roman Forum and the Greek Agatha, I think it was called. And those are places that these civilizations realised the importance of this principle of a third place where people met. Well, there we go, we're free of the gravel now. I should imagine my tyres are absolutely full of it. Yeah, if anybody can explain the purpose of gravel, leaving gravel on the road like that, I'm sure there's a principle behind it. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, back to the third place, and the Romans and the Greeks, knowing a lot about things that we've sometimes forgotten about. So what is the third place? What's the principle? First place home, second place work, third place is that place that you go to where basically the pressures are off. The specific meaning, or the most perfect example of a third place, if you want, is one where there is no commitment to go there. It's a meeting place where you're going to meet people of all sorts of different types and stratus in society, and it's a place where you haven't got to be there. There's no commitment to be there. There's no host as such. Everyone meets just to talk or to laugh and have fun. It's that social interaction area that you have in your life. And I think, obviously, my point of this is that the bike cafe for bikers is very much that third place. And the reason it's an actual thing in sociology is because of just how deeply important it is, especially in our stressful lives. Now, the natural third place that there is in the UK society, of course, traditionally been the pub. Anyone can meet, you can go and have a chat with anyone you like. You probably meet people you've never met before, as well as regulars that you meet on a regular basis. But it's a social interaction going on, which is so important to society, not just the individual, but the whole fabric of society. And obviously the Greeks and the Romans understood the importance of this and built them into the fabric of the cities. And we've forgotten about that largely. The pubs have come around for obviously the purpose of drinking initially, but have served that same purpose. But of course now lots and lots of pubs are closing, and since COVID, the third place has really come under a lot of threat in most societies. Obviously it's not just pubs. The French equivalent of third place is, you would say, the cafe society. Cafes where people meet to chat and to socialise. And the Italians have their own version, of course. But every society you look at, from early civilizations right up to now, have had this third place where people meet. A place where you are not playing a role. There is no responsibility on you to be there. You don't have to be there. You can come and go as you choose. It's a place where you thoroughly relax, because even your home, the first place, as we know, is not stress-free. There's responsibilities when you're at home. You've got responsibilities to your family and people around you. You've got things to do at home. Whereas the third place, the idea of that is it's a place where you can thoroughly relax and unwind. And it's vital to social cohesion. And surely for us bikers, the question's out there, do you, if you're listening to this and you're a biker or you're interested in motorcycling, is your third place the bike cafe, the local bike cafe? I mean, it may not be a specific bike cafe that you meet at, but maybe you meet up with friends regularly in a place which acts as that third place in your life and is important to you. Certainly with me, the cafe I take you to all the time, the food stop in Quat, or Quatford to be more specific, is my third place. There's no doubt about it. The place where I meet up with people. Some of them I know, some of them I know very well, others I only know as acquaintances, and others who are complete strangers. But you've got a chance to chat and talk and socialise with people of all different types, and that's a critical thing with the third place. It's like a network, because you get to meet people you otherwise wouldn't. At home you obviously only meet your family, generally speaking, and close friends. At work you meet your work colleagues who are often on the same socio-economic background that you have yourself. Whereas the third place gives you a chance to meet people of all walks of life. They may have a common interest, but many of them have got very different perspectives on life, and it's certainly the case at the CAF. I mean, I know people there, for instance, that are financially at the lower end, shall we say, and I know multi-millionaires that go there. One of my friends there is literally a multi-millionaire, and it certainly gives you a completely different perspective when you talk to people from different backgrounds on lots of subjects, from politics to daily finances, obviously. Everything about your conversation is fresh and interesting and gives you a different perspective. And I think for bikers, certainly for me, but I'd be interested to know how many people out there listening, it's the same, that the third place for you as a biker is your bike CAF or your bike meeting place. So I'd like to hear it in the comments if that's the case for you. Drop a comment in the box, because I think it probably is for many of us much more important than simply a place where we go and talk about motorbikes. It's actually a place where all those socially and psychological important needs are met. The chance to meet fresh, new people, to catch up with people you know, to have a laugh, but for there to be no stress whatsoever. If you're not happy anymore, you get up and you leave. If you want to go, you go. If you don't want to go on a particular day, you don't turn up. You don't have to book in. And those are all the prerequisites of a traditional third place. So, in my opinion, that's the modern third place for the biker. Now, of course, the modern twist on this is the loss of third places within our society, and that the third place is, to so many people, especially young people now, have become virtual third places. I'm sure, especially during COVID, which is obviously, like in so many other ways, transformational to our lives. Third places we simply weren't allowed to go to anymore. So people began to rely more and more on virtual third places, whether that be if you're a gamer, or you're just very hot on social media, or, let's be honest, what we're doing right now, communicating through YouTube, watching YouTube videos, having virtual friends through YouTube. Some of you will, I hope, see me as a sort of a virtual friend, somebody that you follow and you know a little bit about their life and what they do, and you enjoy listening to. And I'm sure it's the same, exactly the same for me with people that I follow online. But the problem with that, of course, is that there's no actual personal interaction. So it's a poor substitute for a true third place. Right, I'm going to shoot down here to Quat. Down the lane. Bit of a moody day today. It's sort of nice, but I don't know, there's a few black clouds over there, as you can see. Love these lanes. Yes, I'll be rolling up to the CAF in just a minute. Thanks for joining me. I hope that's made some sense and maybe sparked a little bit of interest. If you haven't heard of that book before, or that concept, it is a really interesting one. And sociology, and with me later on in my life, psychology became such an interest and a sort of a bit of a passion. It's really interesting subject. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me on this little ride out. And I will get off now to my third place. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.